Hello, people, and welcome to another episode of Stars and Garters. I am Katie Pettit, and today, excited about this episode, I will be giving my top 10 movies of all time. So, quick disclaimer before we start. If you're looking for a list of movies with a lot of variety, no, this is not that list. Yeah. It's not, I know what I like, and I kind of stick to it, so sorry saying it. If you're looking for a list of movies with a lot of thought-provoking movies, also no. Not my kind of thing. The most thought-provoking movie on this list is a Disney movie. So, but yeah, I guess get started. I'll give like a quick synopsis of each movie, just so in case you haven't seen it, which most of these you probably have seen before, but just in case you haven't, I will tell you what it's about, and then I'll just tell you briefly why I love it, why it made the list. Alright, let's get started. Let's get right into it. Number 10 is going to be the movie School of Rock. Yes, School of Rock. Brief synopsis. Overly enthusiastic guitarist Dewey Finn, Jack Black, gets thrown out of his bar band and finds himself in desperate need of work. Posing as a substitute music teacher at an elite private elementary school, he exposes his students to the hard rock gods he idolizes and emulates, much to the consternation of the uptight principal, Joan Cusack. I'm trying, you guys. Joan Cusack? As he gets his privileged and precocious charges in touch with the inner rock and roll animals, he imagines redemption at a local battle of the bands. I struggled a little bit there, but it's okay. So, why I love this movie? I mean, obviously, Jack Black he kills it every time he's in something, but like, this role, it felt like it was like even more built for him than some other roles he has played, even though he makes it seem like every role is built for him. This was just like, this makes sense. And all the like kids, I thought it was really cool. So if you didn't know, all the kid actors who are playing the instruments, they can actually do that. Like they actually have that skill set, and it's really cool to see. And it's a cool story, like the sequence at the end, or the scene at the end where they do that final song is really cool. And I like the idea of like taking these classically trained kids and teaching them how to do rock and roll, because I don't like classic music. So for him, and I like the scene where he was like, they were telling him all the artists they knew, and he was like, "What is wrong with you? You are undereducated children." So I feel like, that made sense to me. I was like, yeah, you need to help them, and he did, and now they're amazing. So, but yeah, great movie. I would watch that movie any day. Alright, number 9. Some of you, I'm gonna lose some people at this point. I don't have a lot of people to lose, but I'm gonna lose some of you. Number 9 is Dumb and Dumber. Now, bear with me for a second. This is not the last Jim Carrey movie you're gonna see on here. But, it's my list, and, I didn't really ask for your thoughts, so thank you. Alright, brief synopsis. Imbecilic best friends Lloyd Christmas, Jim Carrey, and Harry Dunn, Jeff Daniels, stumble across a suitcase full of money left behind in Harry's car by Mary Swanson, Lauren Holly, who is on her way to the airport. The pair decide to go to Aspen, Colorado, to return the money, unaware that it is connected to a kidnapping. As Harry and Lloyd, who have fallen in love with Mary, are pursued across the country by hired killers and police, they find both their friendship and their brains tested. Now, again, it's just a straight-up comedy movie, but I like comedy, and I believe it's called a comedy movie. It's not supposed to have a deep plot or a super great plot line. It's just supposed to make you laugh, and this movie is stinking hilarious. Like, it's, there's no other Jim Carrey. It's just, he's so good at everything he does, and like, it's just, there are just so many hilarious bits. I am a terrible person, so I really like the bit where they give the dead bird to a blind kid. that's not for everyone, but it's just, that was hilarious to me. But just a lot of other, like, there's some very quotable lines where he says, I don't know if I'm gonna get it exactly right, but he's like, just when I thought, I think Harry has bought, or Lloyd has bought, like, a bike in exchange for a car, and Harry's like, just when I thought you couldn't get any dumber, you do something like this and totally redeem yourself. Like, it's very quotable. A lot of other quotable lines, and it's so hilarious. Like, it's so fun to watch. But I love this. I love this movie. Very, very funny. Okay. Alright, moving right along. At number 8. This is the deepest movie on my list. It is The Lion King. See, I restrained myself to one Disney movie on this list because I knew that, because I'm a fan of Disney, mostly OG Disney, but, I knew I would have probably gotten a little overpopulated with Disney movies, but, yeah, this was the one that won out because, I love movies, like, I love other Disney movies a lot. I love Emperor's New Groove, I really like Hunchback of Notre Dame, but The Lion King just always comes out on top for me. It's just, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me read you a little synopsis. Even though, if you haven't watched The Lion King, like, go fix that. What are you doing with your life? Accomplishing things? Not before you've watched The Lion King, alright? So, just go do it. Alright, so, synopsis. This Disney animated feature follows the adventures of the young lion Simba, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, the heir of his father, Mufasa James Earl Jones. Simba's wicked uncle, Scar, Jeremy Irons, plots to, I don't know how to say that word, usurp Mufasa's throne by luring father and son into a stampede of wildebeests. But Simba escapes and only Mufasa is killed. Simba returns as an adult Matthew Broderick to take back his homeland from Scar with the help of his friends Timon, Nathan Lane, and Pumbaa Ernie Sabella. I spoiled the whole plot there, but again, if you don't know it, shame on you. But yeah, I will say I just found out, the ridiculous amount of, actual celebrities that are in this movie. Matthew Broderick is adult Simba. What is Ferris Bueller doing in my Disney movie? That one surprised me a little bit. And Jonathan Taylor Thomas, that was surprising as well. But yeah, that was just surprising. But, the reasons why I love this movie, just, it's very nostalgic, first of all. It was, my whole childhood, I just loved this movie. I Just Can't Wait to Be King. I loved that song. That was, I would always sing that song, and I would get super into it. Now, my favorite song from this movie is Be Prepared. A little different way to go there, but, it's just a solid movie, It's it's just, there's so many things to remember, nobody forgets Mufasa's death after they see it. It's, one of the most heartbreaking scenes in any movie, not just Disney movies. You can't get over that kind of thing. It messes you up as a child, and it will continue to mess you up every time you watch it. It's just, and then, Scar, amazing Disney villain. He's great. And, all the songs in this movie are, the top Disney song of that category. I know I haven't actually, compared them, but, Be Prepared is probably at least one of the best Disney villain songs. I Just Can't Wait to Be King. Does that count as an I Want song? Because if so, it's, one of the best. Can You Feel the Love Tonight? One of the best love songs, It's very hard to get back up to that level of that movie. For Disney movies, it's good. It's so good. Okay, talking a lot about these movies. This might be long. So, moving along to number 7. Another interesting pick, considering the other movie I could have chosen. But number 7 is Pitch Perfect 2. Not 1. 2. I will go ahead and say, I picked this one over the first one because, 1, it's a little cleaner, a little more family friendly. Don't watch it with small children still. Don't watch Dumb and Dumber either with small children. I need to add disclaimers to these movies. Because some of them, they're great and they're hilarious and they are solid movies, but people are bad and they say bad things. So don't watch these around children. Anyway, and also Hailee Steinfeld is really good in this movie. Her character's a lot of fun and she has an amazing voice. It's pretty cool. All right. Little synopsis. It's been 3 years since the Barden Bellas, Anna Kendrick, Rebel Wilson, became the first all-female group to win a national title. All seems well until a botched Lincoln Center performance for the president leads to a scandal that strips them of their performing duties, causing internal tension and strife. With the World Championships on the horizon in Copenhagen, Denmark, the women must get their act together for their one and only shot at redemption. But, this movie is, a lot of fun, too. All of the music is really well done. I'll listen to the soundtrack just as, on my playlist, because it's just really, really cool. I don't think of acapella as cool, but then, when I listen to this, it's just oh, wow, you can actually, do things. The little beatboxer girl is, really good at her job. And I love Anna Kendrick's voice, of course. And then it's also a comedy movie, so it's really funny too. They have it's just funny movie, and the German group that they have to go against is really cool. And I love that big last performance. Then how they used that song. What's her name? What's Hailee Steinfeld character's name? I forgot. But she, wrote a song, and, they did that instead of doing a cover, and it was really cool, and it fit into the medley of songs they were already doing really well. So, it was just a really cool and enjoyable movie. It has my favorite riff-off, too. If you don't know what a riff-off is, go watch Pitch Perfect, considering you have parental permission or just are old enough. But anyway, it's a whole song battle type thing. So I think it has the best riff off. It's most enjoyable for me to listen to. But yeah, just a great sequel. Sequels don't always live up to their predecessor, but this one I think did very well and even better because the other one's not on my list. Alright, another disclaimer. Watch this one if you are a small child or with small children. Just don't, because Adam Sandler has some, he needs to get a handle on his mouth sometimes. But at number 6, we have Happy Gilmore. Now, this is, one of Adam Sandler's first movies, and it was just a great start. He's very good at his job. He's very good at comedy. Alright, synopsis. All Happy Gilmore, Adam Sandler, has ever wanted is to be a professional hockey player. But he soon discovers he may actually have a talent for playing an entirely different sport. Golf. When his grandmother, Frances Bay, learns she is about to lose her home, Happy joins a golf tournament to try and win enough money to buy it for her. With his powerful driving skills and foul-mouthed attitude, Happy becomes an unlikely golf hero, much to the chagrin of well-mannered golf professionals. But yeah, this is just a great watch anytime, and I know I said before that comedy movies, I just want them to make me laugh and I'm happy, but this one actually has a decent plot, he's trying to help his grandmother. He's just a good dude. He's just has some problems, issues, and it's again so funny. That's just my dad or all of my family members, well, not my mom, she doesn't like Adam Sandler, but we quote the part where he's yelling at the ball because this guy told him that the hole is the ball's home, and he's like, are you too good for your home, ball? We say that just randomly all the time without context because it's just so funny. It's just all very funny, and it's a comedy movie, so it's supposed to do that, and it does it very well. Alright, I think I spent less time on that than I did the others. No, not because it's lesser, just had less to say. Okay. Sorry, guys. Don't watch this with the children either. Because, well, different reasons. I can't remember the language in this one, but there are other reasons. So, skip a few scenes, even if you're not a child. So, but, it's still, use discernment, but still. Okay, number 5 is Ace Ventura. Yeah, I know. Just bear with me, okay? I know you're tired of all these dumb movies, but this is my list, and I didn't ask, so. Synopsis. When the Dolphin mascot of Miami's NFL team is abducted, Ace Ventura, Jim Carrey, a zany private investigator who specializes in finding missing animals, looks into the case. Soon, Miami Dolphins players are kidnapped too, including star player Dan Marino, making Ace's sleuth work even more pressing. Working with Dolphins representative Melissa Robinson, Courtney Cox, Ace closes in on the culprits, but not before many ridiculous misadventures. So, I know I said before in Dumb and Dumber that, there's no other Jim Carrey, and he does show that very well in Dumb and Dumber, but this Ace Ventura just solidifies. It's like, there's no other Jim Carrey. He has his own thing, and he's great at it. It's just ridiculous, and, I know some people aren't about that, but, then don't watch Jim Carrey movies, us Jim Carrey fans, we know what we're getting, and we love it. We know he's going to be so animated, so ridiculous, and, just the goofiest things with the most, it's just, we know what we're getting, and it's great, and it's hilarious. It's I still remember the ending of that movie to this day, and it is, I have no words. I don't think there's a good enough word to describe the ending, but it's so good. It's so funny. Jim Carrey, the one and only. There's no one else. Alright. Moving on. So, at number 4, we have the movie Free Guy. Now, I know this is a recent one, but I still liked it a lot. This one, it's more for the language, because you know Ryan Reynolds. He has a bit of a mouth problem too, but censor it maybe, because it's a little rough for PG-13. But here's the synopsis. When a bank teller discovers he's actually a background player in an open-world video game, he decides to become the hero of his own story, one that he can rewrite himself. In a world where there's no limits, he's determined to save the day his way before it's too late, and maybe find a little romance with the coder who conceived him. Poor choice of words. So, but yeah, this was a newer movie that came out, and I was really intrigued because, Ryan Reynolds is very funny and video games, and it did not disappoint at all. It's, so cool and so funny. The plot is, very interesting, a video game player becoming sentient, and just all the video game, stuff and tie-ins that they had was really, really cool. Especially that big fight at the end where they had all those, references, the cap shield and the Fortnite, donkey thingy, unicorn, whatever thing. And then they had, I think they had a lightsaber. It was just really cool. I know that pop culture references are going to get outdated one day, but let me enjoy it now. But yeah, just really nice story and very cool for video game nerds. We like to see that. And, the little romance stuff was done really well, because the girl didn't have to fall in love with an AI. So that's, that's good. Glad that happened. And she got, fall in love with a real person. So good. But this was a very good movie, and I enjoyed watching it. Lots of good action, too. Forgot to mention that. It's an action comedy, and the action was really good, and the comedy was really good, so what more can you ask for? Alright, we are getting to the podium, you guys. Number 3. Miss Congeniality. Now, this is a classic Sandra Bullock movie, and I think this one would be okay to watch with the kids, It's not that bad. I mean, of course, it's up to your discernment. You know what you can handle. You know what the little children can handle. But it is just a great movie all around. Alright, synopsis. When a terrorist threatens to bomb the Miss United States pageant, the FBI rushes to find a female agent in order to go undercover as a contestant. Unfortunately, Gracie is the only female FBI agent who can look the part, despite her complete lack of refinement and femininity. She prides herself in being just one of the boys, and is horrified at the idea of becoming a girly girl. It was a little more on the nose than I would have done if I'd written that. But nonetheless, let's just say Gracie Hart is the best character. I love her. She does so many things. When I was watching it for the first time, my mom showed it to me, and there were so many things she did, and she's like, that's you, that's you, that's you. And I was like, yeah, it's me. But she's so much cooler because she's an FBI agent, and the plot is so cool. It's just, FBI agents undercover, and it's a whole romance deal too, and the romance is really cool, really well done, and they actually make sense because, both FBI agents, and they have a lot in common, and it's just really cool. I always enjoy watching it because it's just very relatable. The characters are very relatable, and the plot is so cool and interesting, and it's also very funny. It's not. I don't know if a main part. I don't know if it's action - comedy. I don't know, but it's also really funny. They play on the fact that Gracie is a little spirited, we'll say, but it's really funny. It's just really good. Alright, for the big number 2, we have Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, I also limited myself to one Marvel movie, because I love Marvel a lot more than I love Disney even, and that it would just have been overrun with Marvel movies. So, I was, struggling to pick a Marvel movie, just one to put on this list, and this is the one that won out. We had big ones like Civil War and Age of Ultron and all of those that were fighting for the spot, but No Way Home was a masterpiece, especially for Spider-Man fans, which I am. Brief synopsis. With Spider-Man's identity now revealed, our friendly neighborhood web-slinger is unmasked and no longer able to separate his normal life as Peter Parker from the high stakes of being a superhero. When Peter asks for help from Doctor Strange, the stakes become even more dangerous, forcing him to discover what it truly means to be Spider-Man. But yeah, again, this movie was so perfect for Spider-Man fans. It was just all the villains and just coming in from the different movies, and you being oh, I remember that guy, and Peter trying to help them. That's just such a Spider-Man thing, he's just a good dude, and he cured all these villains, and it's awesome. Okay, if you haven't seen this movie, I really don't want to spoil this for you, even if you don't like Spider-Man, just please go watch it, but big spoiler coming. Okay, I warned you. So, when Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield showed up, that was the best thing ever. I was so pumped at that point. Because I don't even know if I've watched the full Spider-Man movies with them. But still, I know, that is insane. You have 3 Spider-Man actors on screen from different movies at the same time, being Spider-Man together, and it's absolutely amazing. All the interactions between them were so perfect. When they were asking about their webs and, asking Tobey if his webs came from anywhere else, that was hilarious. And every time, when they were trying to figure out which Peter was Peter 1 and Peter 2, Peter 3, every interaction was just a dream come true. And then the ending, that was so sad, man. I mean, I don't even know what's gonna happen to him now. It's just but it's so cool because it's clear he's still gonna be Spider-Man, even if his world is depressing and sad now, and nobody knows him anymore. He's still gonna keep doing what he does, and that's because he's Spider-Man, and he's awesome. And this whole movie was so awesome, just so awesome. Alright. Are you ready to be disappointed in me? Because we're at number 1. My favorite movie of all time. The movie that I would watch on any day and be so happy to see. It's the movie that I love the most currently. Because this list can always change. But number 1 on my list is Tommy Boy. Alright. I know you're leaving. But don't leave. Stay. Listen. Hear me out. Alright? This movie is not just a dumb comedy, by the way. I know that's what you're thinking. It's not. It's a heartfelt story about a son trying to live up to his father's legacy. It's also hilarious, but okay. Anyway, let me read the synopsis. After his beloved father, Brian Dennehy, dies, dim-witted Tommy Callahan, Chris Farley, inherits a near-bankrupt automobile parts factory in Sandusky, Ohio. His brand-new stepmother, Beverly, Bo Derek, wants to cash out and close, but Tommy's sentimental attachment to his father's employees spurs him to make one last-ditch effort to find someone who will buy their products. With his father's tightly wound assistant, Richard, David Spade, in tow, Tommy hits the road to scare up some new clients. Alright, so just Chris Farley and David Spade, I love them separately. Like, Chris Farley is so good at what he does because he's just a naturally funny guy, and he did like whatever he needed to get a laugh, and he was so good at it. Like, he would always fling his body on things, and it's everything he did was just funny. And then David Spade is just so smart and quick. He's so quick with his wit and just so sarcastic, and I love it. And then just put these two together, it's the perfect thing. Maybe one of the best comedy duos ever. Just, they work so well, especially, and you can just see that so clearly in this movie. This movie has it's just so many quotable lines you can use in everyday life. I have a t-shirt that says "Shut Up, Richard," because I love this movie so much, and "Shut Up, Richard" is the whole thing. But yeah, and it's just so good, and the plot is actually really interesting, and Rob Lowe is there doing his thing, being the bad guy thing, and then just everyone plays their parts so well, just create this perfect little comedy road trip, story thing that is just an amazing movie that I would watch any day and just be so entertained and so happy that I chose to watch that movie because it's just great. And if you haven't seen it, skip a part. If you want to see it, there's a part that I don't watch because it's not cool, but besides that, it's relatively tame. But besides that, yeah, it's just watch it if you haven't seen it because it's so good. It's my favorite movie of all time. So yeah, that's it. That is my list. Please don't leave after hearing that. I know your list is a bunch of deep, thought-provoking films, and you have one comedy, but it's a thought-provoking comedy, and it's a satire or something, or whatever. And I know that this list you thought was a bunch of dumb comedies. 1, I don't care. It's not your list, again. And 2, don't judge people by their movie choices. All you're saying about me is that I like comedy. Is that so wrong? I like comedy in Disney and Marvel. And there's nothing wrong with that. So, but I hope you enjoyed the episode, even if you deeply disagreed and despised my list. I hope you enjoyed listening. I'm glad you tuned into this episode of Stars and Garters. Be sure to do the subscribe follow thing. Pretty sure it's following on Spotify, so do that. Because I like to see those numbers go up. I want to see them hit 10, you guys. Let's get 10 followers. And leave a comment. Tell me your top movie. Maybe your top 3 movies. What are your favorite movies? I'd like to know that. But yeah, other than that, this has been Stars and Garters. Goodbye.